Hi everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. My name is Chrissy. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I go about the drafting and cutting of this beautiful corset crop top with puff sleeve. Okay, I couldn't film the sewing tutorial because it was urgently needed, so that's why. So if you don't want yours to have this puff sleeve, you can just remove it, and if you don't want it to have a yoke, you can also remove it and add strap to it. Just you can see the picture inspiration here. Okay, so if you're interested to learn how this was cut, keep on watching and let's get started. All right, so you can actually use the same pattern to make any corset of your choice. If you want to add sweeter neckline, you can also achieve that. The first thing I usually do is to draw a straight line at this upper side here. It will serve as my starting line. Okay, after that you place your tape, then you're going to determine the length of your top. So for this top, it's a crop top, like it's a crop top. I'm making it for my client. Okay, so I want to determine the length, and I will just mark 17 inches in total. Okay, I'll mark 17 inches in total. So the crop top length is 16 inches and I marked 17 inches. That means I added extra 1 inch for the allowance. So after that, you just make a straight line with it. Once you're through with that, place your tape again. Okay, place your tape again. So right now you're going to mark the bust point. Our bust point is 10 inches. I marked it. After marking, I'll make a straight line with my ruler, like use my ruler to connect it in a straight line like this. Okay, once you're through with that, place your tape again, then you're going to mark the chest line or armhole line. So her armhole depth is 8 inches. I marked it, then rule out a straight line across. Okay, once I'm through with that, I'll label as the chest line, the bust point and the waistline. Then for the shoulder, you're going to divide the shoulder by 2 plus half an inch stitching allowance. After that, you mark it. Okay, once you mark, you just rule out a straight line. Okay, after marking, I also mark the shoulder on the chest line to give me a straight line. So I'll just mark a straight line this way and I'll label as the shoulder line. Once I'm through with that, I'll come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. Then I also mark 3 inches for the neck width. So I'll just connect the shoulder slope this way. Can you see? After that, you measure what you have left on the arm, which was 7 inches. You divide by 2, mark the midpoint, come inside by half an inch. Then on the chest line, mark quarter of the bust measurement. Okay, then after marking, now you will use your curve rule to connect the 3 dots you have there. Okay, just look at how I'm placing it. You place it this way, go ahead and connect. All right, after connecting, guys, this is what I have here. So after that, on the waistline, you're going to divide your nipple to nipple by 2. Her own is 8 inches, so divided by 2 is 4 inches. I marked it on the waistline, the bust point line and the chest line. Then I made a straight line with it. Once I'm through with that, on the waistline, I'll subtract 1 inch on both sides. Okay, so after subtracting the 1 inch on both sides, what I'm going to do next now is to just add the under bust line. I forgot to do this initially. After ruling out a straight line, I labeled it as the under bust. Okay, so the same thing I did at the waistline, I'll just subtract 1 inch on both sides. If you are busty, you can subtract 1.5 inch. So once I'm through with that, I'll just connect in a straight line like this. Okay, so at the bust point line, I'll come down by 1 inch. I always do this anytime I'm making a corset like this. You just come down by 1 inch, then go ahead and make the curve. You just connect it to the 1 inch you came down by, okay, on the bust point. So once I'm through with that, next thing I want to do here is on this shoulder side, I'll place my tape. From the shoulder to the chest line, I have 8 inches. So what I'm going to do is to come up by half an inch here. Okay, I'll come up by half an inch here. Then after coming up by this half inch, I'll rule out a straight line this way. Once I'm through with that, I'll go ahead and label it as new chest line. So this becomes my new chest line here. Okay, so it's going to have shoulder. Okay, this corset with shoulder with the same Ankara material. Okay, so you subtract 1 inch on both sides again on the chest line. So go ahead and connect it this way. From the bust point, you go ahead and connect this way, just connect it to that point. So once you're through with that, the next thing you want to do now is to just come here on the center front. You're going to mark half inch. This is corset, so I marked half inch. After making the straight line, I'll bring my curve rule, then I'll just go ahead and connect. It will not have a sweetheart. If you want yours to have sweetheart, you can come down by half inch. Okay, then make your sweetheart. This one is not having any sweetheart and is with shoulder with the same ankara material. So I just went ahead to, make my curve. After curving this way, on this small space I have on this armhole, you will divide what you have there by 2. Then after that, you go ahead and connect it to this point. Like from there, you make your curve, your cup for the second side. Just make the curve, connect it to the under bust. Okay. So for this upper line here, you're going to just go ahead and cut it out like that. Okay, just this way. So if you watched my last tutorial on two layered skates, that top you see on my dummy, this is how I cut it. Like this is how I drafted and cut it. And also if you want this top on the thumbnail of my last tutorial, that is this top you see right here, you're also going to cut it out this way, but you can add the sweetheart neckline if you want. So once you do it, you just cut it this way. You're not having this yoke. Okay, you're not going to be attaching any yoke to it. All right, you're not going to attach any yoke to it. And if you feel 8 inches is too exposed for your, like it will too expose your boobs, you can just come up by 7 inches. All right, so what you see me doing here is just that I came down by 3.5 inches or 4 inches here. Then I just made my round neckline, just made a curve. Then you cover this way. After that, you include your seam allowance, sorry, you include your that, then also include your seam allowance. Okay, so on the waistline, you mark quarter of your waist measurement, replace the 2 inches you have here, and also replace also add the 2 inches for your seam allowance. I did the same thing on the bust line. 2 inches or the 1.5 is okay for your seam allowance. Okay, you can add any one you want. So after I was done with the drafting, I went ahead to cut it out. Okay, like I said before, if you're creating this picture inspiration on the thumbnail of my last tutorial, that is the two layered skirt tutorial, you just draft it this way. The only thing you're not going to be adding or attaching is this yoke. Okay, so because of that, instead of you to come down by these 8 inches, you can decide to come up by 7 inches on your chest line. Okay, just to avoid exposing your boobs. If you want, if you don't want, you can just maintain the chest line of 8 inches. Okay, just like this, and also make the sweetheart for the top if you want. So after that, you just cut it out like I'm doing here. I'm just explaining on how you can get the, like on how you can draft the other top if you want to create that same top. Okay, it's just this way. After cutting, you can decide to add your bra cup to it. If you don't know how to add a bra cup to this kind of cutting, you can watch my tutorial on a corset dress with lace. You're going to see how I added a bra cup to the dress. Okay, so once I'm done cutting everything now, I'll just go ahead and label. Okay, I'll just go ahead and label. So this is the center front. I'll label as F, as CF, which means the center front, and for the cup I'll label as 1 and 2, and also give marks on how to join those curves. And for the side, you label as side front. Okay, so this is exactly what you will have once you are done cutting. You have something looking like this, and this is the yoke. I'll also label this yoke as the yoke. Okay, this is the shoulder, so I'll label it as the yoke as well. All right, I'll do that one later. So now we are going to move into the drafting of the back piece. Okay, for the back piece, I'll just place my pattern like this. It's not on a fold, but if you're cutting yours, make sure it's on a fold. All right, so you just place it this way. Then you place your side front. Okay, place your side front like this. After placing, I went to get my ruler, as you can see. So you place it this way. After placing, now this is my ruler. I will just go ahead and sketch the side. Okay, sketch the side, then also sketch the hem part. Okay, after sketching the hem part, you can sketch the upper line, that is the upper side, this way. So this is another easiest method to cut the back piece of your corset after drafting the front. So after doing it this way, I'll bring the front piece as well. This is the center front piece. Now I'll also go ahead and sketch the hem part just like this. You just connect it in a straight line. You can see I also left the space for the dart. So on that dart leg, you're going to divide it by two like this. Then also subtract the half an inch for the dart intake. Okay, just like we did on the front. Okay, we didn't do this on the front. All right, so just go ahead and make the dart. Okay, so after that, you're going to just continue sketching, continue, sketching it out by making a straight line. Just draw everything now like this. Okay, you can see what I'm doing here. And again, do the same thing for the upper side this way. So after doing that, I'll remove this piece and I'll just go ahead and connect it in a straight line like this. Okay, so after connecting, guys, this is what I have here. The next thing I want to do now is to add 1 inch for the zip allowance. Okay, if you want to have back loops, you can subtract 3, 2.5, depending how open you want it on this back piece. No need adding this allowance, just subtract 3 inches, 2.5, 3.5, any how you want it open. You just go ahead and subtract it here on this back piece. Okay, no need attaching or adding the zip allowance. So after doing that, I'll just go ahead and cut it out just like this. So for the back yoke, I'll use the same yoke for the front. Okay, I will just use the same yoke for the front. I'll use the same yoke for the front as the back yoke as well. Okay, so now just bring out the piece I already cut. So this is the front piece. I'll just go ahead and arrange them in place. I arrange every piece after cutting. Okay, you arrange them in place this way. So this is the front yoke. Like I said, I'll use the same front yoke for the back yoke because the front and the back piece is the same thing. Nothing is different. It does not have a basket line and doesn't have any other extra style apart from this thing I really cut out. So just go ahead and label as the back, label this other one as the yoke. So this is the end of today's tutorial. Go ahead and transfer to your actual fabric and sew.